What up, everybody? We are back after a 2-0 loss to Pachuca this past Sunday. Oh, we got Lewis in. Let's see if he comes in
Hey,
now. Anyways, 2-0 loss to Pachuca. Uh, Another red card in this game. That's 5 in 7 games. So, Sean, what you got on your mind to start off this podcast?
Well, I think uh, to open it up, I might as well just say it's pretty much what we were saying all last podcast, unfortunately. I mean, we have been able to predict this the whole time coming. We opened up the season without our starting goalkeeper to prove that we have no depth at goalkeeper that's reliable. Nahuel was incredible in that second half to even keep it only two and not three, maybe four. That one little stop save and then kick save right back was just top notch
he was
keeping.
incredible the whole game. That save he made in the first, 10 minutes? Oh my
Yep,
word, how he got down to that so quick. 35-year-old.
was insane. But this team has beaten absolutely nobody of quality this season. They've lost to any decent team or anytime we faced any level of adversity in terms of not having our starting keeper. Uh, it's just we can. I mean, five red cards in 7 games. You can tell that to a casual fan, and they look at you like you're crazy. Like, what is going on around here? And so yes, it's easy to complain about the refs. It's easy to complain about the league in general. It's easy to get frustrated as hell because we seem like frauds that are sitting, third place. But it's you just want to pull your hair out because the team has the talent and they're not showing anywhere near the quality that they should be showing.
And that is Sean's rant of the week, my friends. Yeah, the team has to find a way to stay disciplined, especially when games are going to be tighter as we move forward with more harder opponents, and as we prepare for a Liguilla run. But what's up, Lewis? How we doing, my friend?
Doing well. You guys recorded so late today that I got in. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Blame my laptop today. It was doing some wonky stuff.
No, happy to be here, man. A little bit sad about the result. I thought we started out great and we just let it all slip away because of discipline issues once again. And we kind of knew moving forward that if we had those red cards that we had against the weaker opponents, we weren't going to survive. And so Pachuca made us pay. It's only our fault for not being careful. I'm not happy with the league as far as the way they're calling things. I think they're being way too strict on these red cards, and it kind of hurts the product on the pitch. But the team will have to adjust and we'll have to get better because we are getting into the toughest part of the schedule right now. These next 5 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Woods, how we doing, my friend? What did you think about the game as we opened up the first 10, 15 minutes? I think it was 10 minutes in before we got the red card. Any initial thoughts? The way we set up tactically?
Tactically, I think Lewis was spot on last week about we went into the game with a bit too much respect for Pachuca. I think going forward, Diente Lopez had a good game in my opinion. I thought he was taking man on and getting shots off. But as Sean said as well, Nachwell had a great game, but also we shouldn't we shouldn't revert to the excuses of blaming the referees, the officials when we can't turn up against the big sides. However, this is bigger than just Tigres, us getting these poor decisions. It kills football. It kills the game. That's not even a yellow card, what I saw. Is it a penalty? Yeah, it probably is. He stamped on the back of his leg. It's a pen. Is it a card? It's it's in the direction he's running. It's silly. It's it makes me want to just rage. It's because it's not just in Mexican football. And that's a discussion for another day. I'm just gonna get off that topic because I'm just gonna start raging in a minute. But no, in general, we could have had a goal in the first half. In the second, yeah, it was appalling. I mean, having 10 men is no excuse for not being able to string at least like two passes together in their halves. It's really not. And I think Karaoke coming back into the side made a big help. He was the one guy that was trying to take the ball down and move it forward. But especially in the second half, we just couldn't Cordova especially. We were just struggling to make any forward progression. So hopefully we can sort that out in the next few weeks come because we will have no chance of winning the title at this point.
Yeah. So what are some positives that we feel that we got out of this loss? Because I feel like, at least for me, I was even with the first 10 minutes of opening play. I liked the formation of running three in the back. I thought it gave us a decent run at building up with possession. Even after the red card, I thought that we handled the game pretty well. We looked dangerous at times with the long ball. We had some shots on goal. But did anybody have some positives that they thought that even though we took that loss for the next game?
Well, even though we lost, I feel like if we face them again in Liguilla in the postseason, I think we've got a really good shot at them. As long as we can get, obviously not get any red cards or do anything stupid like that. But those first 10 minutes and even I think a good chunk of the first half, we looked better than they did. And it wasn't until the second half when we really started to kind of fall apart. But if you take away that set piece goal, I think we go into the half tied. They really didn't threaten that much.
Yep.
And at one point, we were out shooting them. And I'm kind of going to disagree a little bit with you, Arnoldo. I think we could possibly even go with four at the back and still threaten Pachuca a lot more and not have to absorb too much pressure. So, in a sense, I feel like Piojo was very careful going into this game, but it lets them read into it a little bit, at least those first 15, 20 minutes to be able to say, okay, if we play them again, we have the players to be able to beat that squad. They're not, to me, they're not as dangerous and as lethal as they were last year. So I think that's a positive. Um, Overall, I think the league is just kind of setting up the season to where there's only going to be about three title contenders. And hopefully Tigres can get it together. And with this new addition, we'll talk about it later, but with this new addition, I think we might be one of those.
Yeah, I thought that we looked good. If even though we took the loss, I enjoyed the game because it was a good opponent and we were able to possess the ball. We had some defensive errors. The first goal on that play comes from Fulgencio losing the ball, quick throw in, Angulo's chasing, commits the foul, get the goal. The second one was on a Pizarro. He gets lost marking Ibanez. I think it was Ibanez. Was it?
Yeah.
And wide open in the box, no one
Yeah.
around him. So
Lichnowsky staring straight at the back of his jersey, like, "Hey, that's pretty sight."
yeah, so we had the Loroña debut, which potentially could be a useful piece for this upcoming game. So Quiñones came into the game for Nico Lopez. I thought that he also contributed, but Diente's been having great games the past two games, so hopefully he continues to start again.
Yeah, I would agree with Luis in terms of taking positives from the game. The only real positive to take from it is that in the first 10 to 15 minutes when it was 11v11, we looked like we were a dominant squad. And that's a pretty decent, I wouldn't say a top of the table team, but that's a playoff team that you're playing against right there. And so uh that's the only real positive I could take from it because once you see the red get displayed, it's we've been able to survive these little 25-30 minute bursts when they've come in the second half, but trying to play 75 minutes down a man is just
Yeah, it's
unrealistic
tough.
to expect to come away with a result, unfortunately. So I would say in terms of positive, that's where you draw the positives. You say, hey, when it was even handed before the refs got involved, before Diego Reyes' slowness forced Angulo to get involved, which then forced the refs to get involved.
Uh,
That we looked okay, and then your hope is that by buying this new guy, we're going to hopefully replace that Diego Reyes with some athleticism and some speed and some ability to stay connected to your man, so that Lichnowsky doesn't have to wonder, oh, is this guy my guy or is this guy my guy? You can say, oh, that's my guy because he's the only guy open and I'm the only guy not guarding anybody. So hopefully that will provide some clarity for our central backs and to kind of solidify that four at the back if we can leave Angulo and Aquino back there and kind of bring forward Laronia. I didn't see his actual debut. I would end up driving back for that last part of the once they got the second goal. But so I'll have to take your guys' word on Laronia looking decent enough. But
he got on
hopefully,
the list of discipline with a quick yellow card.
fantastic. So he fit right in. He fits
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Fits right in. I actually just saw the play again. It was a bad possession, and he's chasing. Had to stop the play. But one of the things that I think that with the addition you mentioned, Lewis, Brazilian center back could potentially be the starter that we need in order to finally have some athleticism, some size, and looks like he has a lot of skill on the ball to develop play out of the back.
He looks like a combination of Juninho and Carlos Salcedo. He's got the aggressiveness of
Yeah.
Carlos Salcedo, where he likes to time his runs just right and then attack. So he's got that aggressive instinct, but he's also got the ability to be able to dribble out, pass out of the back, which I think we haven't had since Juninho. A center back that's really good uh, with his foot, being able to pass and being able to dribble. So I think I'm pretty excited for one, as Sean said, to be able to sit Diego Reyes down. That's a positive right away. But I think in Piojo's system, he's gonna fit really well,
Mm-hmm.
especially if there's space ahead of him. He's gonna be able to dribble. He's gonna be able to distribute. So he's gonna be taking a lot of the load off of Pizarro, I think, which Pizarro and a lot of times has to drop deep down to be able to get the ball and then distribute. We're going to have that guy who's going to be able to do it from the back without Pizarro dropping back so deep. So I think it's going to be a great piece to add to Piojo's system.
I think the ideal lineup that he's going for is the Brazilian from Watford, Angulo, Lichnowsky, and Aquino, right? That's what in a back four. That's what we want.
Yeah, he does give you the option to be able to play in a three-man line, be able to play on the left, or I've seen him some clips where he was playing left back. So there is a little bit of a wiggle room there for Piojo to kind of mess around with the lineup a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I think he'll be a left center back, hopefully paired up with Angulo. Honestly, what I want to see is Loroña right back, Angulo, um, the new guy Samir, and Aquino on the left.
That'd be
I think
nice.
that would be the best.
That's the dream.
I just don't know if he brings him to play on the right side and slide Angulo in. I think his idea is to keep Angulo on the left side, at left back.
You could play him as the central, more of a sweeper role. Angulo to the left of him, Lichnowsky to the right, and now you've got Loroña as a right winger and Aquino as a left winger. I
Yeah,
mean, not winger, wing back.
wing backs.
So you've got those options there, I think, to be able to mess around with it. And I'm sure during practice he'll play around with the lineup until he gets it right.
Woods, have you watched him play at Watford?
I have. He was actually Watford were much more improved in the second half of the season under Roy Hodgson, and for the England national team and for Crystal Palace, has always been under this manager. Like 11 players, comfortable on the ball. Which is one of the first things he did for Palace. Is he got rid of Wayne Hennessy and goal, replaced him with Guaita. He's one of the most standout keepers in the league for Palace actually. And off the topic of them, obviously, he had a great season for Udinese the previous year. He's a left-footed player. He's quick. He can play as a fullback. He was obviously a product of Flamengo's youth academy. I think he'll be a great sign. That so we could do a left-footed defender as well, someone who could slide into either the left side or into a back three. And he can even move into midfield. Honestly, if he really he's really versatile. I really like him. I like the look of him. Watford having gone down this year, obviously in the Championship now, they will have a lot more players available to sign, and I'm in no surprise that this is a player we're interested in, and I think it's good scouting because this is a player we need desperately, desperately as we've clearly seen. I'm over Igor Lichnowsky now. He's done. He's finished, man. He's washed. I'm sorry, enough of him. I tried to say, Arnaldo. I tried to say before. Look, it might not look convincing yet. Give the guy time. But his time's done. Right,
Yeah.
get him in the phone box. Bye bye. Yeah, enough of him. Right. Even though I will say, Sean, I do think you're a bit harsh blaming him for the second goal. He had a poor game, but I thought because he was actually marking a man at the back post. Yeah, I just think Guaido's just whatever it was, just no awareness. I don't know if he
Dude, he was jogging. He was taking it
What was
easy
he
into
doing?
that box.
I don't know if he smoked a spliff at the second half. But, from what I know of him and what I've seen in the second half of the season and a couple of seasons back at Udinese when I started watching Serie A, he was one of the standout players in the league. He's always stood out to me, to be honest. I remember against Man United specifically last season. I think even though they lost the game, it was 1-0, I believe. I think he was a standout player. So, yeah, I reckon he'll fit right in, and I like the look of him.
You can't help but be harsh when the guy is constantly on the scene of the crime. I mean, he may have only been a witness this time, but innocent bystander. I refuse to let you paint that picture.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's awesome. That's great scouting, my friend. Well, it sounds like we got a player that's going to help us a lot. And you're right, Lewis, going back to what you mentioned, 3 contenders, and we might be that, one of those 3. And we continue to find that balance that we've been talking about over the last few episodes. But it's looking good, if we can keep the discipline tight with no red cards moving forward.
Can we say thank God for Fulgencio, though? Because Fulgencio showing out has made it so that Soteldo is expendable, which allows the reinforcement of a defender to come in. So thank goodness for that guy showing up so that we
And,
can send
man,
this other packet.
I was going to say, he had a great game also against Pachuca, especially in the first half after the red card where he was, they
Everywhere
were,
in the middle. Yep.
yeah, anywhere from the right wing back position, sliding to the middle, and then and moving forward any chance, we were able to create. So he's looking great. I think he continues to solidify the starting position moving forward. And, as Soteldo departs, any favorite moments from the few games that we saw him play? What did we see him play? Like 10 games?
When he came off the bench against San Luis, enough said. Yeah. That was quick feet. It's, the midget Ronaldinho. I like the guy. I think it's harsh that we've even let him go back out on loan. If I'm honest, he's much better. He's a much better footballer than Quinones every day of the week. But obviously, Pioja and this player, it is what it is. But on the topic of Fulgencio, before we quickly move on, he's got everything that reminds me of a classic Brazilian player from like the 90s. As in, like every time he gets the ball, he wants to move forward. He doesn't think backwards. He wants to link play up. He doesn't play like his age. He wants to get in there. He wants to press and work for the teams. Everything about him, just whether his attitude behind the scenes, which is questionable for obvious reasons, but in terms of his footballing mentality, as long as that's A1, he's gonna be a cracking player. I've seen enough of him.
We talked about preseason about what we needed, and we needed a center back and we needed a right back, and we got that. We have it now. And we weren't counting, at least I wasn't counting on Fulgencio being a key piece and Cordova stepping up this season.
Yep.
So to me, it's like no more excuses. We have everybody we need to be able to win both tournaments, really. We need to go after CONCACAF and we need to go after the league title. You were talking about favorite moments. There's very few with Soteldo. I feel like that guy has a ton of potential. We just somehow ruined it. It was a combination of his attitude, partying too much, and I think Piojo. But I feel like we didn't get anything out of him, really. I think he has more yellow cards than assists, and 1 red card and 1 goal, man. I mean, really, we didn't get anything out of him.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the obvious moment is him standing on the ball in a game that we end up losing. But I think my actual favorite moment was when he got naked and then got kicked out. That was peak Soteldo.
You hit it right on the head, Sean. That was just about to say those were the 2 moments that stand out for me when he stood up on the ball in those few moments of joy we had in the Atlas game. And then him taking off his shirt and getting red carded after that only goal he scored with us. So, I mean, I feel like we wasted the guy. He'll probably go to Brazil and kill it. I wouldn't doubt it if he just has like an outstanding season at Santos and then we're like talking about bringing him back again after the loan. But I feel like we wasted that guy. Especially, I'm with Woods. I'm with Woods more every day now. Quinones doesn't need to be starting. He doesn't. We need to get rid of Quinones because he's making guys like Soteldo not be productive with us. So I think we need to move on. We have Fulgencio playing well. Let's move on from Quinones, man.
I like the Diente Fulgencio Gignac attack.
Trifecta, yeah.
And, I was going to say a flow update. still, not looking like he's going to play this weekend. Looks like we're going to get him to the following weekend. So, guys, a
The
long,
Ferrari's still in the shop, man.
yeah, man, long way from being a starting, position or a starting player. I think at this rate, slowly incorporate him until you get him into the playoffs and you get 20 minutes of great spark, great, shots, some crosses, and let it ride out, man. And we'll start again next season.
We'll use him once the weather cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
He runs hot. He runs hot in the summer over here. These Monterrey summers are not for him.
Bro, those Northern Europeans can't handle it. Anything plus 30 degrees, you melt, bro. You don't understand. Yeah, I can sympathize with him.
So we got Sunday game, Tigres Santos. So who starts in place of Angulo and Igor Lichnowsky? How do we line up? I feel like there's a couple of ways based on this past game, how he lined up, and then, with Uguayala sitting on the bench. So any thoughts on who might fill those roles?
In the back line, I would just go Loroña on the right, Uguayala, Reyes, unfortunately, and then Aquino on the left.
So you're going four in the back.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And then just let Pizarro play as a central mid, central defensive mid.
I'm gonna stay on my hype train for converting Guido to a center back because I cannot stand another game of Diego Reyes back there. So if we're gonna go ahead and stick Loroña at the right and Aquino at the left, I'm not trusting a million-year-old Diego Reyes and a million-year-old Hugo Ayala to guard the center. It just can't happen. I'll take a million-year-old Guido Pizarro over those two any day.
So both of you guys are in agreement that Carioca continues to start?
I would hope so. In that central defensive midfield spot, he's solidified the possession and the balance of this team so much over the last couple. I mean, I know the results haven't necessarily matched it, but the feeling of those games when they were even and/or when we were, playing well, have been to lean towards the continuation of Carioca in the middle. At least for me. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me in the slightest to see Vigo and Cordova and
I think in this game you're gonna need him with two starting backline guys missing. I think you're gonna need Carioca in there. You can't afford to bring Bigon, who's not as strong defensively.
Yeah, so but does Loroña start immediately? He didn't look in rhythm or in form last game, so you think he gives him the starting position?
I think you have to. I mean, he did look bad for the first 10 minutes, but I think he settled into the game quite nicely. Even though you got to take into account we were playing a man short too, so that was also affecting him. But I think at this point he's pretty much ready to go. I don't know how much more you can hold, and who else are you going to play?
Exactly. So I was thinking. So my immediate answer is, what you said. Go four in the back: Aquino, Reyes, Ayala, and Loroña. But how he played a little bit after the red card with a back line of five, and I liked it. I like Fulgencio out wide as a wing back. So I was thinking go Aquino on the left side as a wing back. Go Diego Reyes, Guido Pizarro, Hugo Ayala, Fulgencio, Córdoba, Carioca, Bigón, Quiñones, Gignac, and Diente Lopez. Or I'm sorry, Diente and Gignac only. I'm sorry.
The thing with Fulgencio playing that far back, I feel is like you take one of the best things about him away. The ability to push up, make crosses into the box. Go at defenders. Once he's too defensive, I think you're kind of starting to hinder him, kind of shackle him down. So I think Fulgencio needs to stay up, at least as an attacking mid, even more so as a winger. I think.
I'm with you. I just don't know if he's going to trust Loroña to come in and start. So I think that's going to be a wild card game time decision.
Have they released the lineups? Normally by Thursday they have them out, and I didn't see anything today.
Nothing of like how even they've practiced. Like nothing at all.
He's doing a Tuca. He's keeping his cards. Even though Tuca, you already knew who was playing, but he would never give out the lineup.
You kind of have to. Santos is coming from routing 4-0 Cruz Azul. So
that's what we really need to talk about. Is Santos is scary, bro.
Two games in a row. Beat Atlas and then Cruz Azul.
Their only losses are to Toluca and to Puebla.
They tied against Chivas, beat Monterrey to start the season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They beat at, yeah, they just beat at. I mean, they don't. Santos ain't playing no games right now.
See, and that's where, like, again, that's where I don't know if Loroña starts immediately. Like I said, I trust him enough. I think he's a talented player. I think he could, easily play and, have a great game. And, he just had a shaky start. I just don't know if he's going to trust him with only, 20 minutes of playing time after coming back from an injury. So I think that's going to be, and then, his favorite Quinones, he's got to find a way to see if he can incorporate him into the starting lineup, which came back from the All-Star game. My man's on a, on a hype of his own. So I just, I feel like it's not as for sure to slide Loroña back there.
Hey, now you know why Liga MX doesn't win the All-Star game. We send Quiñones over there.
You call him an all-star.
Dude, he started along with Angulo and Pizarro.
That guy hasn't been an all-star since like week 12 of last season, man. He hasn't
Yeah,
played at all this season.
absolutely. So, um, Jordi Caicedo returns alongside Vigon after 2 red cards, so that will definitely bolster the bench. I think that again gives us different options, especially with a tough opponent like Santos. Depending on how the game develops, we got a
Well,
ton of
and so I
options.
mean, I'm going to agree with you guys. I think that most likely scenario is those four at the back in some formation of Reyes and Ayala in the middle. And so that means you're probably sending Carioca back to the bench now that Vigon has returned. I mean, not so, this isn't what I would like to do. I'm saying I'm trying to get your most accurate prediction since none of us have seen the lineups, right? And you know that Gignac's a starter, and you know that Cordova's playing, and it seems like Vigon is his baby too in the midfield. So there's
Lopez, Diente Lopez.
you would hope, along with maybe Fulgencio, but I
Yeah,
mean, where does Quinones slot in at that point? And so is it Quinones and Fulgencio with Gignac, and then
I like that too.
three, and then the four at the back previously discussed? I mean, Diente's then on the outside looking in real fast.
That's why I think it's a tough lineup to predict. I think it's the pieces that are out are not only two favorite Piojo's players, but also like players that you can move around to create different lineups,
Yeah.
especially with Angulo.
I think with Quiñones, he gets a little more defensive help. So if he's gonna be at all concerned about it with Santos coming in scoring a ton, it's possible that he plays Quiñones over Diente. It's because Diente is not gonna give you
No.
much defensively. So it's
Oh, yeah.
possible that he does do Fulgencio Quiñones on either wing.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, tons of predictable lineups based on the players, especially like I said, man, we got some wild card players, man. We got players that can play different positions, and that's why I'm excited about the Brazilian center back. Is it Samir Caetano or Samir Santos? I think I've seen two
Fernando
names,
Santos, yeah.
so I'm excited. I'm really excited for
You
what's
know
coming
how
up.
Brazilians like to do it. They like to do the long names. So he's like Samir Caetano de Souza Santos or something like that.
Dude, what jersey does he take? What do we have available back there? Salcedo's number 3.
Yeah, that might be the one.
Yeah, that's probably what he's gonna take. I like that. Any predictions for this upcoming game?
And it's a bit of silence. It depends on the team, and to be honest, I'm completely with Sean. I'm sorry, Arnaldo Lewis, but four at the back against Santos, who attack with a four bank forward and attacking full backs. Four at the back with Reyes there, suicide. Right now, I can't run with that. So, um, for me, it's got to be Ionia at the back, even though when you bring up the point there, he might have been a bit shaky and lacking from the game as soon as he came up. It was a high intensity game when we had 10 players. He might have got beaten once, and to be honest, on the ball he didn't look bad at all. So you've got to start him. There's no other choice, and we bought him specifically because he's meant to be this defensive reassured fullback, so he can nullify that left side of Campos. Um, for me as well, if Aquino's sliding into left wing back, and we have well, my back four would be the same as you, but except for my dad Guido sitting as a centre back in a back five. And if we're going to have Aquino sitting as a left wing back, then obviously Fulgencio or Quinones, even though I was going to bring up a point that Lewis actually brought up. I was going to bring it up before he brought it up, actually. It's a good point, the fact that despite the fact how well Nico Lopez is playing, for this game where it's going to be a lot of high intensity, high running, the high tempo game down the flanks, I feel that defensive cover, that work rate, that intensity, obviously that's something Quiñones can offer that Nico Lopez can't. And I feel when Santos Laguna start to tire at the latter stages of the game, that's where we bring on Nico Lopez, have that more of a goal threat. And for me, in the two in midfield, this is also vital. Juan Pablo Vigón has to start, because what we're missing at the minute is that link to connect the attack in midfield and offer a goal threat, from outside the box and make those last minute runs into the box to when the crosses come in. And that's what we've been missing. And I think we really do miss him. I mean, we do miss him. And in this game, I think he's going to be vital. I think he needs to start.
So that means Cordova and Pizarro start, and that means Carioca goes to the bench, or Pizarro goes to the bench. And there's the dilemma, fellas.
Right now, from one to
He ain't sitting down,
Cordova to
Pizarro.
the bench. Cordova to the bench. I mean, he's one.
Wow.
He's one of the players. I know he's been playing really well recently, but again, he's one of the players that's not going to give you much work ethic. You bring him off the bench after 60 minutes. From the start to the top, it's Nahuel, back five, Lorona, Diego Reyes, Guido Pizarro, Angulo, Aquino. The middle two, Carioca, Juan Pablo Vigón.
But Angulo's out, so
Angulo's out with the red card, my friend.
Oh wait, who else did you say he was? It was
Ayala.
Ayala.
Ayala. Sorry, Ayala. Yeah. Then obviously you saw how good that midfield two was last season. Carioca, Juan Pablo Vigón, revert back to it. Front three, I'd start off with Valencia, Gignac, Quiñones, and then we can start discussing whether we bring on Cordova and Nico Lopez in the second half of the game. That's how I'd set up, and I just think it's the most appropriate. We need to bounce back, and we need to hit them on the counter attack, play it smart, because we need to pick. It's a non-negotiable. We need a point at least from this game. I don't want all 3 points.
We would need the 3 points. I feel like this is definitely a game to make a stand and see where the team's at against a great opponent.
They are a form team in the league at the minute, and yeah, 100%. I know beating them is a statement. We could write last week off as just a blip, and we're going to show that we're serious about this league title.
Yep. Lewis, prediction?
I'm gonna go. I think it'll be a high-scoring one, so I'm gonna go 3-2 Tigres.
Wow, nice. Sean?
I think this is the defining moment of our season in terms of providing the clarity for the team. I think if we come out with a win at all, regardless of how it happens, that's a big statement. And if we're going to go with my 2-0 Santos prediction, I think it will prove us to be the frauds that I think we are at the moment, sitting in third on the table. So I hope to be wrong, but I'm not showing a lot of faith. I think there's a decent chance of a red card coming right back out in the first 20, 25 minutes.
The ever optimist.
All of a sudden you're behind the 8 ball again. So I'm going to hope for otherwise, but I'm going 2-0 Santos.
Wow.
That's a hot take right there. Hot take.
Damn, what a way to end the damn episode. Woods?
To be fair, Lewis took my thoughts right out of my mind, if I'm honest. I was going to say 3-2. Because you said that, I'll go 4-2 Tigres.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the 4-2. I think it's a high-scoring game. I'm with you, Lewis, but I think it's more of a 4. I'm feeling confident that Gignac's going to open up the bank. We need him to score. He's had some great chances, too, to score. Diente Lopez.
You guys send those drugs that you guys are on to me, scoring 4 goals on the best goalie in Liga MX. Get out of here.
Hold on. I thought we had the best goalie.
Masterclass. Clean sheet. You're going to see it.
All right, my friends. Till next time, thank you guys for y'all's time. And let's hope we get a dub this Sunday.
Beautiful.
Take care.